Now what we want to do is show you the CP Plus control. CP Plus control controls all of the features of the Truma Combi from one system. You'll see here there's a knob. It'll turn right and left, and it has the ability to be pushed and pushed. And there's also here a back button in case you want to go out of the current selection. So what we're going to do is going to walk you through how to get heat onto the unit. But first we'll do the setup for your system to make sure that it is set up the way you like it. Okay. You can see here the clock time is in PM, the P meaning PM, and it's 2:57 PM. If we want to change to 24-hour clock, we're going to go down here to the clock setting. Clock setting will allow us to change the time in hours. To accept, once you have the hours, you press for selection. If you want to change that to 56, we press select. You can see by the blinking what the setting is in. Okay, we're going to go down to the wrench. The wrench controls all the basic settings of the CP Plus in the Combi. First is the index. The index just tells us what software has been loaded onto the unit. Not important unless you're asked for that. Brightness controls the brightness of the screen. In this case, we're going to leave it a little bit darker because we don't like it so bright. And again, to select, we just push the button in. So brightness, language. You have the ability to switch it from English, French, Italian, Spanish. All the languages are built into there, so choose your favorite language. If you want to switch to 24-hour time, right now it's on 12-hour time. If I want to switch it to 24-hour time, I'm going to turn the dial to the left, and to select that, I'm going to press the button, and now it is switched. Okay, what else can we do here? We did the language. The temperature, we can switch it between degrees Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius, so depending on what your option would be, you can switch between those two modes. We'll leave it in Fahrenheit for now. Again, we'll select that, and let's see what else we have. Offset. Offset gives you the ability to offset the temperature in the room and allow it to think that it's up to 5 degrees different from the actual reading on the temperature sensor. So if you do not do anything with the controller will automatically go back up to the clock time. You can see here now, before there was a P here for the clock, and now it's 14:57 instead of 2:57 PM. Okay. And we'll go back to that wrench. It's blinking, so we have the temperature, the offset, the language, the brightness, the index, and then there's a reset. In case there is something wrong with the system and you've called service, they may ask you to reset the system. The reset is part of the wrench settings, and you can just press the button and it will reset the controller, and you might have to adjust your time and things after that as well. Okay. So now to get the furnace on, what we want to do is we want to go to the vehicle, which is blinking now. So the blinking tells us which mode we're in. So we're in the vehicle, that's the furnace heating. So we're going to turn that, and it'll say off. And what we want to do is turn the dial to the right until we get to the temperature which we would like it to be set to. In this case, 72 degrees. And we're going to select that. And you'll see immediately here, the flame has come on. The fan is coming on, and the unit right now is using propane. What I'll show you how to do next is to change the fuel source. Right now it's in gas, but we have the ability to mix the gas and the electric power with one element or two elements, or we can run straight an electric power. You can see here there's one lightning bolt or two lightning bolts for electric 1 and electric 2. I usually recommend running it in mix 2. It makes it the most efficient. If you are on shore power, you might as well use the electric power that's available. That way it decreases the amount of propane. What will happen is that it will use as much propane as it needs to get the unit up to temperature. You can see now that it has the propane tank and the two lightning bolts, meaning that it's running in mix 2. So mixed with the gas and 2 heating elements. Okay. And as the unit runs, the flame will be on here, indicating that the furnace is set. If you ever want to check what the setting is, you can see here that it's 72 degrees. Just by a press of the button, if I want to adjust that, I can go back into the vehicle setting where it's blinking, and I can adjust that up or down. If it's a little bit warm, I want to adjust it down to 71 degrees. I'm going to press that and accept that, and that will indicate that it's going. Okay. Now for the water, once again, the unit does not need to have water in it to be running. You can run the furnace without the water. Again, it's important that if you are running it, that and it is without water, that the drain is in the open setting. But we're going to turn the water on to show you how that works. Again, it's off right now. We're going to turn it to the right to get the different settings. So it has 3 settings. One is 104 degrees, 140, and the third is the boost. The boost is a setting which allows you to get the maximum amount of heat to the hot water as quickly as possible. So if you just come out and you're full of mud and and the unit's cold and you want to get hot water for a shower, put it in boost mode, and that will get you the hot water as quick as possible. Okay, so right now you can see that there is no thermometer in water right now, so I didn't actually turn the hot water on. What we're going to do is we're going to come back here and we're going to set it to 140 degrees. And we're going to turn that on. Okay, and we're going to go back out to shows us the temperature, and then it's going to show us the time. Now what you see here along the top is the flame, which means the furnace is set. The thermometer in the water, and it's showing hot, or 140 degrees. The fuel source is both propane and electric power, and the fan setting. Okay, so if we want to adjust the fan, we can go over here, and there's different settings for the fan. We have eco and high. I usually run it in eco mode. The fan will adjust automatically to adjust the room temperature to maintain or increase or maintain the temperature inside the vehicle. Okay. We'll back out again to the time. And one other feature I want to show you here. And press the button, and we're going to go over to this little icon here, which is the timer. Now the timer, right now it's set for 8:30. What we want to do is we're going to adjust that for when we go to bed. So when we go to bed, we want everything to shut off. We're going to go to bed probably around 11 o'clock, so we're going to turn this down to 2300 hours, which is 11. And in the morning, we want it to go back to its original settings, so we're going to have it changed and come back on around, I'm sleeping in the morning, so it's going to come on at 7. Okay, right now it's set to off, so right now it's telling me the furnace in the timer setting is off. These settings are completely independent of the settings that you've set on the controller previously, and these will only act when the timer is set to on. Again, if you leave it too long, it'll automatically shut off. So we're going to flip that to on. The timer is now on over here, but I didn't finish setting everything. So I'm going to go back. Not too far. But here, I'm going to shut that off. I'm going to go back into the timer. Now it remembered the 2300 that I wanted. I remembered the 7 a.m. Now I'm going to adjust the temperature, and I can adjust the hot water to where I want it. And I'm going to turn the water on. And in the morning, we're going to move during the evening, so I'm just going to have gas. So I'm going to run it just in gas. And now it's telling me to turn it on or off. So I'm going to select on. You can see up here that the timer symbol is along the top. That means the timer is set. So at 2300 hours tonight, the unit will go in and it will accept all those conditions that we entered in. And it will operate until 7 o'clock in the morning, at which time it will revert back to whatever settings we had on the unit outside of the timer setting. That's it for the CP Plus. I hope you've enjoyed that and you were able to learn something. Again, any of the information that we talked about today is all available in the operating instructions for the Truma CP Plus digital control panel. Thank you.